Yeah, so we are live, we can start.
Yes, thank you. Hello and Namaskaram. The 15th webinar series on understanding various modes of tribal development and protecting the indigenous culture from external influence. On behalf of Ministry of Education flagship program, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, National Coordinating Institute, IIT Delhi, I would like to extend my warm welcome to distinguished speakers, Dr. M. Shanumugam and MS Vasamalli. Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Regional Coordinating Institute, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore. Honorable Director Dr. E. Somasundaram, UBA Associate Coordinator, respected R. Balaji, Dr. Bhavna, and the participants who have joined through online platform. Thank you for taking time to join us today. This webinar series on understanding various modes of tribal development and protecting their indigenous culture from external influence. First episode was started on 20th June 2020, and this is 15th episode. In between a big development we have seen in our country last week, that is oath of 15th President of India, Honorable Sri Draupadi Murmu. This is the identity of New India. UPA team feel proud on it. We are celebrating this. Today, both distinguished speakers have done amazing work for shaping the culture and heritage of the tribes in Tamil Nadu. So we have opportunity to listen the real truth. Now, I would request to UPA RCI team to moderate this session. Over to you, Professor E. Somasundaram and team, please. Sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pandey Saab, and all the esteemed scientists of IIT New Delhi, the National Coordinating Institute, and I am very happy to be a part of this program on understanding various models of tribal development, modes of tribal development, protecting their indigenous culture from external influence. And this is the 15th program I learned. So in Tamil Nadu, the state in which Nilgiri district is situated has 36 scheduled tribes with a total population of around 6.5 lakhs. So it represents about 1% of the total population of the state. And predominantly, there are about 6 tribal groups out of 36 scheduled tribes. They are Todas, Lotas, Lurumbas, Irulas, Panias, and Katanayaks. They are earlier they were called as primitive tribal groups. Now they recently renamed as particularly vulnerable tribal women, PVTW. So among these 6 major tribal population, the number wise, the minimum is Todas, around 1,480 people. It is only less than 5%, and Kotas, they are in the 3rd position, and Katanayaks, they are in the 2nd lowest, and Kotas 3rd lowest, and the Kurumbas are the major, occupying a major share, around 35%, followed by Irulas and Panias. Irulas, they are about 30%, and Panias about 20%, right? So these Toda tribes are very, basically they are a pastoral community. They have the, that is animal-based farming. They have the pasture lands, and they are who live in the isolated Nilgiri plateau of southern India. Toda coexisted locally with other communities, including the Badgas. Badgas, they are comparatively economically, they are little bit in an elevated platform. And Kotas, Kurumbas, they live happily helping each other. I have a very great regard on all these tribal population because they maintain their originality. They still they are maintaining the culture, tradition, and all aspects from time immemorial. They are all maintaining without any dilution or any interruption, and they follow a very ritual and happy way of living. And very often you used to remember my professor used to say that when you go to hill, you can get the happiness not by the nature but also by the people living there, because they live in a very happy. They are the people really mingling with the nature and then not harming anything to the nature. And they are the real people doing the natural farming also, because I am also a member in the National Committee of developing syllabus for natural farming. So that way I'm very happy. They found this Toda population, they found only in Nilgiri district. That is the unique and speciality. They are most fascinating and intriguing tribe of the Nilgiris. And as far as the economic status of the tribal communities in Nilgiri is concerned, dairy is the major activity because they nourish the cattle, and the most important domestic animal is buffalo. So the Toda community, the economy continues to, they are supported by exclusively buffalo rearing, and Toda tribal soul carrier is livestock rearing and dairy. So most of them, almost all are having the herd of buffaloes, and they major, I told, they are they are sustaining their livelihood from milk sales or milk merchandise. So Toda embroidery is very famous in Nilgiris. They do it very meticulously, and it's in a very intricate embroidery on the surface of the plain cotton material. So it is the tourist spot. Nilgiri is the tourist spot, and these people are showing the tradition and culture through their handcrafts, especially the this embroidery work and other things. So today I am very happy that two eminent personalities from that Nilgiri district. One is Dr. M. Shanmugam, is the state vice president of Manvasi Seva Kendra, Tamil Nadu. He was a retired chief manager from Bank of India, and belongs to Kota tribe of Nilgiris, which is a very, which is one of the particularly vulnerable tribal group of Tamil. So Akhil Bharatiya Kalyan Ashram, it is based at Jaspur, Chhattisgarh. They do the development of education and economic development of these scheduled tribes. And Vanvasi Seva Kendram is the unit of that ABKA organization started in Tamil Nadu during 1980s. So Dr. Shanmugam sir is one of the trustees and president of Vanvasi. Now he is the state vice president, and this VSK Kendra is running 3 schools and 3 hospitals for the benefit of the tribal community. That's a great thing they are having. And it is also running 150 Grama Kalvi Mayams for educational facility, 150 numbers, to cater the requirement and tailoring 5 training centers in different places of the district. So he is a great statesman and visionary, and we are blessed to have him today for our this program. And I am very happy to invite Dr. M. Shanmugam sir, State Vice President, Vanvasi Seva Kendra of Nilgiri District, Tamil Nadu, to offer his special address. Over to Dr. M. Shanmugam sir.
Shanmugam sir, you can start.
Please check your mic may be muted, so we are not able to listen to you.
Bhavana ji, kindly talk to him.
He is trying, sir. He is trying through phone.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, அது அவர்தான் அது சார்.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You please, we welcome our beloved Dr. M.S. sir to offer his address.
அதான்
Hearing, sir. Please continue. Yes.
இப்போ
சண்முகம் சார் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் சார். நீங்க யூ ஆர் கிளியர்.
Mugam sir, kindly switch on your video.
பண்ணேன்.
Sir, switch on your video and also start talking, sir, please.
ஆனா
Your audio is not clear, sir. Maybe due to network problem in hills, because everywhere raining, sir, in Tamil Nadu. So,
And Mugam sir, please, your voice is not coming. Switch on your video if possible.
Is there any person who is assisting him?
Yes, please, Dr. Bhavana.
Bhavna can contact him. Till sir rejoin our network become stable, can we request our regional coordinator to talk about something related to this topic?
and
Yes.
I am basically an agronomist who care about soil and crop management. That's my specialization, and particularly organic agriculture, non-chemical crop production. I do work with tribal communities.
Great, sir. That's great, sir.
2000, yeah. Some of the tribal communities in Vadi, Kuliyada and Pudukadu, where they were maintaining the cattle due to the they not doing that. All India cattle and also small ruminants and birds to that community, and we thought how to maintain the animals disease free and also the infection free. That our veterinary team also got involved, and they started grooming, and now recently I visited, they are having a herd of cattle, sir. I am very happy that and also we supported the communities through our all India programs to raise the fodder crops, how to maintain. And from our university is known for a very good this Department of Forage Crops and Fodder. So we have given all the inputs free of cost, so that they can, the government allotted land is there, they are having the enjoyment rights. So they started cultivating these grasses, and now they are getting a very good income, and that makes them to allow their students, I mean their children to become to get exposed to the education facilities, and consequently some of the students, some of the children are joining in colleges in Coimbatore and other areas. So that's what I had. So traditionally they maintain that custom, tradition, and their this culture. But at the same time, and the present day living, we need to have good education facilities for that communities, because they are a little bit reluctant in coming out of their nest and getting in intro into the our way of living. The reasons are many, and another thing is they are all the time going for collection of the wild harvest and other collection of the forest materials, forest producers. They have that enjoyment, usufruct, right? So they all the time, the male category, they always go together in 3 days, 4 days for collection of the forest producers, and the women community alone is in the villages, and they are not the actual working force in the farm. So that is the one difficulty we faced. And another thing is the wild animal problem. Nowadays they are being they are domesticating various kinds of domesticated animals to catch hold of that animals, and as a food, these wild dog and wild these other animals are also causing damage. So this man-animal conflict is quite common in some of the areas, and the shrinking of the pastoral lands is another issue that I could witness from the some of the articles in hilly region. And the traditional tree species, they are not being promoted in a big way, because they are introducing some of the exotic tree species from Australia and other countries like sikakai and other things. That is used for as a shampoo material for hair cleaning and also maintenance. So this traditional natural environment in tribal areas need to be protected, and they shouldered more responsibility in earlier days. And gone are the days, now they are also now reluctant in maintaining all these things due to so many socio-economic factors. So through this Unnat Bharat Abhiyan program, we have to sensitize our higher education institutes and also the young brains, the student community, and how to maintain the natural ecosystem in tribal areas, so that the tradition, culture, and also the identity of that ecosystem will be maintained. So these things are very much essential, and not going just as for enjoyment as a tourist. We should not do any harm to the nature by introducing the non-decomposable materials like plastics and other non-recyclable materials into that hilly ecosystem, and also treating that tribal population as a treasure trove of knowledge, because they are the people who are very much aware of the traditional medicines, because for even from the venomous snake bite to all the human health issues, they know the remedy. So the simple techniques they are aware. Even in our Tamil Nadu, some of the tribal people are helping the cancer people to get rid of this killing problem. Yes, sir. Now the speaker, honorable speaker, can continue, sir. Just time management, I was telling something, sir. Yes, please, sir. Dr. Sanmugam, sir, please.
Yes, shall I continue? Hello?
Yes, please,
Am I
please.
audible to you?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Very well audible.
Namaste to one and all. Respected Professor Sri V.K. Vijay, National Coordinator, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan Flagship Program of Minister of Education, Government of India, Sri C.B. Pandey, Dr. E. Somasundaram, Agribusiness Development and UBA RCI Coordinator, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore. Officials from IIT New Delhi and my beloved sister Srimati Vasabali from Thoda community who will share her knowledge in this webinar and all other participants in this webinar. Good morning to one and all. Our great nation is celebrating 75th year independence. During this auspicious period, the present ruling government at center has been kind enough to nominate our beloved sister Srimati Draupadi Murmu, one of the particularly vulnerable tribes, for the highest position, that is Honorable President of India. It gives immense pleasure to me and entire tribal community of India that one of our tribal ladies has been President of India. We tribes of India feel proud and honored. We, the tribes, are searching for a suitable word to thank the general leaders, great leaders who have voted in our favor. On behalf of the Kota tribe of the Nilgiris, one of the particular vulnerable tribal group of Tamil Nadu, we hereby place our sincere thanks to our great nation for recognizing of a tribal lady for President of India and permanently request all Indian citizens to accept our sincere and wholehearted thanks. It is a pride for me to mention the following 3 points which give me immense pleasure. Honorable President of India Srimati Draupadi Murmu belongs to tribal community. I also belong to tribal community. Late Sri Shyam Charan Murmu, husband of Honorable President of India Srimati Draupadi Murmu, and myself are officers of our great organization Bank of India. Yes, sir. Yes, and today Honorable President of India and I pensioners of Bank of India. Honorable President of India Srimati Murmu had a long-term association with Akhil Bharatiya Kalyan Ashram, which is voluntary social organization founded on 26/12/1952 at Jaspur, Chhattisgarh by late Sri Ramakant Keshav Deshpande, with ultimate goal in all around development of Vanavasis through service projects like education institutions, hostels, health medical care, sports centers, and program for awakening of faith in their culture and economic and educational developments. At present, I am assigned responsibility of State Vice President of Tamil Nadu of the great organization. Article 342 of the Constitution provides that the President may specify the tribes or tribal communities which are to be deemed for the purpose of the Constitution to be scheduled tribe in relation to the various state or union territory. In pursuance of this provision, the President made the Constitution Scheduled Tribe Order 1950. The order was again revised in 1956 and 1976. There are indications in the Constitution that extreme social, educational, and economic backwardness would qualify a tribe to be included in the list. The nomenclature of tribal communities have never been uniform in successive censuses. In 1891, tribes were described as people having a tribal form of religion. In 1901 and in 1911 as tribal animists. In 1921 as hill and forest tribes. In 1931 as primitive tribes. In 1941 simply as tribes, and in 1950 and onwards by constitution terms scheduled tribes. The basic criteria of primitive tribes, distinctive culture, geographical isolation, shyness of contact with the community at large, and backwardness are applied in preparing list of scheduled tribes. Yes, and today there are 36 tribal communities in the scheduled tribe list of Tamil Nadu. Understanding various mode of developments. While equality status of opportunity for employment under the state has been guaranteed as a fundamental right to all citizens under the Constitution of India, and while no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, race, religion, etc. is to be made in making such appointments. The Constitution itself recognizes the need for making certain exceptions to this policy to ensure bringing up certain class of people who would be otherwise, because of the historical, educational, social and economic background, be unable to compete with the remaining class of citizens. Article 46 of the Constitution of India provides facilities and opportunities for development of their scientific temper, educational advancement and economic improvement so that they may achieve excellence, equality of status and live with the dignity. According to Article 16.4, 16.4a and 16.4b of the Constitution, provide for reservation in admission to educational institutions and employment, provided for reservation in matter of promotion and filling of backlog vacancies are major government policies to accord to the tribes social and economic justice apart from economic measures. To avail the benefits available under the above said articles of Constitution of India, the Union of India and the state government have prescribed the procedures and have entrusted duty and responsibility to revenue divisional officers of the district to issue social status certificate after due verification. 1 second, please. The Constitution of India mandates the state to provide an elaborate and effective framework in administrating social justice. 1. The policy goals and objectives. 2. Legislative and institutional machinery. 3. Guidelines for physical infrastructure and financial support. 4. The social inequality, untouchability which contributes the most to inequalities has been made punishable under Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 and SC/STs PI Act 1989. To fill the reserved vacancies, the Government of India provided relaxing the minimum standard of education qualification in recruitments. However, the reservation is not available in the following posts. 1. Defense Service. 2. Research and development connected with atomic energy and space researchment. 3. Teaching post of professor and above. 4. Post of super specialty in medicines and engineering and other scientific and technical subjects. The governance framework on environment and forest had an immense impact on the life, culture, and identity of tribes of India. The forest dwelling tribes should have the power, authority, and responsibility to participate and influence decisions concerning their forest and environment, which form the very basis of their livelihood, culture, and identity. Tribes' livelihood has been dependent on the forest, and traditionally they enjoyed the rights and free access to the forest resources for their needs. As per the Indian Forest Act 1865, that the forest dwelling communities became encroachers in their own habitats and their livelihoods came under extreme stress. Indian Forest Act was modified 1878 and 1927. During 1951, some modifications were made in Indian Forest Act. Forest Conservation Act 1980 also not provide any relief to tribes. Forest Rights Act 2006 was a historic piece of legislation for the forest dwelling tribe communities. The act in fact translated into practice the guarantee of dignified treatment that the Constitution gives them through its many special provisions regarding the scheduled tribes. Preamble to the Act itself calls it an act to undo the historical injustice committed against the forest dwelling, scheduled tribe and other traditional forest dwellers
Is there an audio connection problem?
Some audio problems, sir.
Is it
Connectivity,
okay?
because, yeah.
Now it's
Well,
okay, sir. Please go ahead.
please.
Yeah. Now, okay, please go ahead, sir.
Now,
Please
okay.
continue.
Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
You
Please
can
continue.
continue, sir. We are hearing you.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, I will continue. National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, a constitutional body constituted under Article 338A of Constitution of India. Till 2004, a single commission for SC/ST was functioning. In 2004, the then NDA government, headed by late Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, created a separate national commission for scheduled tribes. Land is the most valuable resource available to tribes. The large extent the preservation of the distinctive culture, customs, preferences of the tribes critically depend on preservation of the land. Recognizing this, the 5th and 6th schedule of Constitution of India made a specific provision to guard against the alienation of tribal land in certain areas. However, it is not applicable throughout India. Some states which are not covered under 5th and 6th schedule area passed an act in their constituent assemblies preventing non-tribes to purchase land from scheduled tribes. Tamil Nadu is one of the states where the said act is yet to be passed. Because of non-availability of the said act, scheduled tribe people of Tamil Nadu lost their lands for petition and encroachment by general public. Indigenous culture of Potter tribes of the Nilgiris. In South Indian Peninsula, where two great chain of hills, the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats coverage, rises the Nilgiris massive. The tribal people and the terrain of Nilgiris plateau have long attracted interest because of their unusual characteristics, that is, sense of having special natural and human characteristics markedly distinct from community at large. The Nilgiris is home to 6 particularly vulnerable tribal groups, that is Kota, Toda, Kurumba, Irula, Katanaika and Pania. Since beloved sister Srimadi Vasimali from Toda committee also will share her knowledge in this tribal webinar, it will be appropriate for me to confine myself into sharing my knowledge about my own community, Kota tribe. Kota tribes who take pride in their lifestyle, culture and tradition. Kota settlements are only in Nilgiris and not anywhere else. The antiquity of Kota settlement on Nilgiris is unknown. Kotas believe that Kamtraya perspiring profusely, he wiped from his forehead 3 drops of the perspiration, and out of them the most ancient of the hill tribes, the Kota, Toda and Kurumbas. Kotas inhabit 7 villages Kokal, namely Kotagiri, Kilkotagiri, Tirchikadi, Kollimalai, Kundakotagiri, Solor and Godalor. The Kotas are excellent artisans who services as blacksmith, goldsmith, silversmith, carpenters, turners, rope makers, potters, cultivators, musicians, etc. are indispensable to other tribes. Kotas speak a mixture of Tamil, Malayalam and Cantonese. Kota settlement consists of 3 streets carries in a village and are named Kilkeri, Nadukeri and Melkeri. People belong to the same Keri and must not intermarry. A man's Keri is determined by birth and parental clan irrespective of where he may live. The Kota blacksmith make hatchets, billhooks, knives, axes, other implements and such as plows used for cultivation purpose for their own use as well as for other tribes of the Nilgiris. Kota potters make utensils like pot, plates, cups, storage vessels, etc. Kota pottery skill is associated with rituals. Kotas propitiate their fertility gods, that is Ainur and Amunor. The annual ritual obligation of clay ceremony is collection of clay and preparation of pot are inbuilt system in the main festival. The pots and made during the festival are only used to perform the rituals at the temple by guests. Earthen vessels made by kotas are only used in preparation of feast and offering to the god during the main festival. Other ceremonies like sowing festival, harvesting festival, housewarming, salt giving ceremony to cattle to prevent from the other diseases and funerals, etc. As agriculturists, the quotas cultivate on the land crops of potatoes, beard wheat, that is ganji, wheat, beer ganji, kirai, samai, onion, and mustard. Lands in their occupation are classified as Patta land under Revenue Settlement 1885. The priests of quota are diviner and oracle who gives a collective expression to their harmony of conflicts. Austerities imposed on quota priests are similar to indigenous culture. The visionary experience of a single individual is of paramount importance to the community as a whole and that he or she represents. Quotas make fire by friction, that is in the name called nichkor, using a root of a tree. The fire obtained by the friction is being used in the house of priest food for all domestic purpose, that is lighting of lamp and cooking. Lighting in the temple and other ritual as well as social ceremonies are to be performed by the fire obtained by friction only. Protecting their indigenous culture from external influence. The tribal customs are peculiar to each tribe or tribal communities and are still being maintained and preserved. Despite the culture advancement, the genetically traits pass on from generation to generation and no one could escape or forget or get them over. Their cultural advancement to some extent may be modernized and progress, but they would not be oblivion to or ignorant of their customary and culture was to establish their affinity to the membership of a particular tribe. The scheduled tribes are inhabitants of intraceable terrains, regions of country kept away from mainstream of national life and with their traditional mooring and customary beliefs and practices, they are largely governed by their own customary code of conduct, regulated from time to time with their own rich cultural heritage, mode of worship and cultural ethos. The faith and belief of tribes revolve around some gods and goddesses. Their rituals and belief systems are manifested in various dance forms, various musical instruments, songs, ornaments, and costumes. The indigenous culture of tribes was at stake after arrival of British to India. The Christian missionaries, utilizing illiteracy of the tribal people, they converted tribal people into Christian religion. Theoretically, when someone converts to the Christian faith, the concerned individuals has to take an oath of being monotheistic and not to engage in worshipping of other gods and goddesses. After conversion of the tribes, discontinued their own rich tribal cultural heritage, most of worship and cultural ethos. Under the principles of prevailing international law, the domicile of a minor child follows that of his father. The question has arisen whether the offspring born out of a wedlock between a couple, one of whom is a member of scheduled tribe and other is not, should be treated scheduled tribe or not. It may be stated the outset that unlike members of scheduled caste, the members of scheduled tribe continue as such even after the conversion to other religion. This is because while Constitution Scheduled Caste Order 1950 provides in clause 3 that only a member of Hindu or Sikh religion shall be deemed to be a member of scheduled caste. Constitution Scheduled Tribe Order 1950 does not provide any such condition. In the year 1967, a great legendary leader of the tribe, late Sri Kartik Oran, a member of parliament, owing to his ceaseless and untiring efforts, a joint parliamentary committee was formed and a committee report recommended strongly as per 2A+2. If any person leaves the tradition, culture behind and converts to Islam or Christianity, he will not be considered part of the scheduled tribe. Opposing the recommendation of the JBC, the Christian missionaries submitted representatives to the Government of India. Late Sri Karthik Varan submitted a memorandum signed by 340 MPs, out of which 322 from Lok Sabha and 22 from Rajya Sabha, to government and pressurized for acceptance of the JBC report. On 17/11/1970, government accepted the JBC report with certain amendments. Late Sri Karthik Varan on 24/11/1970 delivered an emotional speech at Parliament, requested for acceptance of the JBC report without any amendment. His emotional speech with facts convinced other MPs and they supported recommendation of JBC without any amendments. On this, government adjourned the debate and ensured that the debate would take place at the end of the session. The bill could not be passed since the Lok Sabha was dissolved on 27/12/1970 due to political reasons. Since the present atmosphere is conducive, it is high time to introduce a similar bill in the Parliament following due process and get assent from Honorable President as an act to protect the interest of tribes. Government of India Ministry of Home Affairs void their notification number 35/1/72 RU SCTV dated 2/5/1975 clearly mentioned as below. Yes, circumstances may be there when a scheduled tribe woman may have children from marriage with a non-scheduled tribe man. In that event, the children may be treated as a scheduled tribe only if the members of scheduled tribe community accept them and treat them as members of their own community. There is no foolproof method to verify whether the children are following into scheduled tribe culture or not. After obtaining community certificate as scheduled tribe, they may continue to practice other religion culture. As per the as per law of the land in scheduled area, tribes land cannot be purchased by non-tribes. The male members of non-tribes and non-tribes very cleverly marry tribal lady. After the marriage, they purchase the tribal land in the name of his wife, who is a tribe. The above referred Government of India guidelines to be withdrawn to protect the tribal land and indigenous tribal culture. Unfortunately, thousands of unscrupulous people from various non-tribal communities obtained false, bogus certificates as belonging to scheduled tribe. The non-tribes who have obtained community certificate as scheduled tribe certainly will follow his own culture, not indigenous tribes' culture. With all these points, I wish to conclude my presentation and sincerely thank to the organizers of this tribal webinar and all other participants in the program. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Your
Okay.
speech is very much your insight and also the whole tribal development programs and culture, tradition, everything you have highlighted made us to wonder how the community and how the things are going on. And we are very proud of you people, sir. And you are
Thank
heading
you.
the very good organization. And we will try to cater the needs of the tribal community who deserves a lot of encouragement and also the benefits from the government. We will channelize as an agriculturist. We are more concerned about the development of the tribal farming system. And traditionally, that farming system is a very sustained system. And that is a typical model for many of the present day farming system to bring sustainability. So your thought, your speech is thought provoking and among us to orient towards the tribal development programs. And we are happy that you are even at this age after retirement and after your responsibilities in the society, you are shouldering new responsibilities and taking care of all the people, tribal population for their betterment and other upliftment. So we too also, it is our responsibility and it's innate thing for us to support and follow your path and try to help for the upliftment of the deprived community, as you are well mentioned in your speech, sir. Thank you very much on behalf of the Regional Coordinating Unit and also on behalf of the National Coordinating Unit, IIT Delhi, for reserving your valuable time and also spending more than half an hour with us and highlighting all the tribal development activities and much emphasis on indigenous culture. Sir, kindly spare for about 5 to 10 minutes to answer the questions of our PIs of the different colleges, please. Sir,
Okay, sir.
after, yeah, maybe if sir is having time, you can interact.
Yes, I will be here. Till conclusion, I will be here. No problem.
Okay, no issue. Thank you very much, sir. Now I am privileged to invite the next speaker, Mrs. Vasamalli and Vasamalli, the President Toda Seva Sanmarka Sangam, member of the State Wild Board, member of the State Wild Board, and a very famous social activities from the Toda tribe. That is the around 1,500 families are there. I mean, 7% of the households occupies in the tribal population of the Nilgiri districts. Totally 1,500 people are there. So for a small group for their welfare and development, Madam is working in a very big way. And she is the first graduate from Toda community. That is a proud seeking information. And way back to 1977, she was dedicating her life for the to create awareness among the Toda community, the well-known native group of the district, on the need to preserve the buffaloes, very particularly the Toda buffalo, considered by them as a God-sent gift. So this, along with her husband, Mr. Potili Kutan, this couple has been carrying more than 3 decades of their life for the long fight to save Toda buffalo, which is facing extinction. This is another worrying thing due to the evil practice of sacrificing them for in the name of rituals and after death of a head of a family or any other prominent member. So such was the superstition that prevailed decades ago, that considering the prominence and respect veiled by the member of the community, the number of sacrifices of buffaloes was more, ranging from 10 to 50, in the belief that the animal could lead the departed soul to, it accompanies the departed soul to heaven. So that was the understanding of the tribal community. So Madam tried to crack all these things, thrash everything, and the unique to the native district, the Toda buffalo has dwindled alarmingly from earlier it was 50,000 and above. Now it has come down to 2,000. So it's in extinct stage. So she and her husband started Toda Seva campaign, that's Toda Seva Sanmarka Sangam, to create awareness, and they continued their campaign and managed to rope the younger generation in their fight to preserve the buffalo, the valuable identity of the region, that to the Blue Mountain. So we are blessed and honored for your by your presence, Madam. So I would like to invite you to share your thoughts, to enlighten us and also to guide the young community, young generation, what is the importance of the indigenous culture and how to get away from the external influences to preserve the traditional culture. I welcome Madam Vasamalli to offer her speech. You can speak. Yeah, please.
I am happy
You can
part
speak.
in this program.
Yeah. You can speak, Madam.
Can we-
It is audible. Yes.
Namaste. I'm happy to participate. It is had a plan.
Madam, some
celebrate
audio
this.
problem is there. Audio problem is there. We are unable to hear continuously.
Okay. Can I now? Hello? Can you hear?
Now we are getting, madam. You please, you keep a distance from the mic. You keep the mic distance, madam. Then it is okay.
Namaste. I'm happy to participate in this program. And in this day, I would like to share my, proud of our woman president, of our tribal president in our country, because it shows tribal identity as well as woman power. Because woman is very important in everywhere, all our nation. Women can create anything because they have kindness, they have willpower and everything. So I think we will have a good bless for her on behalf of our tribal goddess Tekiji. Now in this program, we may expect what are all the developments so far we had from the government. Development means for better living, no? Like education, then health, livelihood, and maybe I can say presence of their heart, language, culture, and music, everything. So this is already existed in the tribal community because that is at a different way. Now the world to join in the mainstream, we have to look for a different way of tribal development. That is what I think. No, already we are the musicians. We are musicians. Our music is depends and it is connected with our living place. India, all over the India, different musics are there. It's like a different flowers. All are very different, but there are, very great things. Like that, we have a different culture in India. Different cultures, different tribes. They are the grassroots of the Indian culture. We may say Indian, but we also can say Hinduism. Why? Because Hindu is our nation. We worship our nation as a woman, in the form of woman. So many people are asking me which God you worship, which is your religion, and all those things are official questions. What language you are talking? What is a tribal? Like that, they used to ask. So I understood. In my culture, we are living in a best environment. It is a world environment place because our tribal people lived very close to the nature. So now I expect in this 75th Independence Day celebration, first development we need is to protect our land and give land right to the tribal people. All over India, maybe not only to us. That is very important because our tribal culture is based on the land-based culture. And according to the land environment, our occupations are there. Then occupation-based, our religious rituals are there. So it is one connected with each other. This is very important. That's why I am requesting this a development program. We must, tribal should protect the land and the government should help us, even nation should help us. I may give some examples. Our tribal way of worshipping, we worship different mountains in Nilgiris. I may say the names. First mountain name is called Contro, Petcon, then Kupash, Kotor. Like that, there are so many mountains. There won't be idol worship. There won't be idol. But looking toward the mountains, we respect and worship. We believe this God is in this mountain. This God is in this mountain. So all over that is how this Nilgiri environment has become very rich. Then this earth, instead of worshipping the ideal God, we worship the earth. First touching the earth and looking to the sky, and the morning we see the sun, we worship like that. So if we keep the oxygen, that means pure air in our land, it will naturally we will get a blessing. The 5-element blessing is important for the tribal culture. But in the certificates and all, we have to fill what religion you are, Hindu or Christian, Muslim, anything like that. So grassroots level, if you protect the land, and then tribals won't lose their identity, they won't lose their culture, they will follow their tradition automatically. Suppose I will give one example. When British came here, they formed the modern Nilgiri, a new modern Nilgiri, because they made the road, they made the dams, they made so many facilities to the Nilgiri, but we lost one river, because every year we chase our buffaloes into the river and chase the river, and we worship the river and grassland for a best pasture and all. After the Europeans made the dam, this is Kunda Dam and Paikara Dam, like that, where we lost the worshipping. But I don't know whether it's a development or we lost our spiritual feelings. That I don't know. But still, that's one way of development. But our rituals also connected with the river. Now, what I feel for our development, if we have a Toda Pata lands, if government protects our land, we can have a best livelihood in their own land, and also we protect our culture. This is my thing. And when we another thing, each tribals should have their own language development. Most of the languages are only spoken languages. There is no script. But those days we had enough time to listen our oral stories, and it's easy to connect with livelihoods and all. It's easy. But if you have a tribal language development in the Ministry of Culture, if they provide some facilities to make a books and written and make a scripts, and if we write those oral stories, and tribal culture will be useful to the human beings all over the world, because they are having a root culture for the human beings. That's what I need a development regarding to the language. I may say one story which may be funny. People our grandparents used to say, all people started to reach the sky, it seems. So they all talking one language. Then it was easy to go. Suddenly people talk to different languages. Then they cannot build more, because if someone else bring the stone, he brings the grass, different thing. Then they were not able to climb up, it seems. So each community or each thing, they need their language to bring up their culture, to maintain their culture. Language is very important. Now I am talking English because it's an official language, because I want you to convey my messages to you, but I don't think properly I can convey messages to you all, because there are so many meanings in our language. If others are calling us todas, but we ourselves call or means mankind. because we are all a godly people. All human beings are godly people once. Then God made us a human being and animals and other things like that. So from godly, we become mankind. That's why we called all. All means we have to be a perfect human being. So our culture teaches how to be a human being, how to live as a non-violent culture. So this is important in our Toda thing. So I must speak all wash. In my language, I may ask you, Uttasha, because I'm greeting, namaste, good morning, like that. When I see you, I will ask you, Uttasha. That means, how are you? Then as soon as we see the elder people, we greet, the elder people will greet, touch the toe, both alternate toes to the forehead, and one who is getting greeting, they should touch the bottom of the feet. So some scientific reason will be there. So that is circulating our blessings. So this is how we greet each other. Even if you before go to temple, we must respect the human being first, get blessings, then only you should go to the temples. Otherwise, God won't bless you. So this shows how much the community is together and community is respecting each other. This is important for in my community. Then when you talk about the buffaloes, buffaloes are it's a respective animal to the God, because that is human being and buffaloes created together. These Nilgiri buffaloes are semi-wild water buffaloes. These are entirely different from. We give name to the buffaloes that are like related to the off new moon shape of the buffalo, and shape is like that, color is like that, different shapes and different colors, and they are all nature based. Different names for the sacred buffaloes, different names for the ordinary buffaloes. We give the naming ceremony for the buffaloes. We treat the human being and animals similarly. Snake, wild buffaloes and tiger, all our holy symbols, because there is close connection with the animal, and so we save the forest also. We are not hunters. We give importance to the whole animals. If you see the snakes, we are not killing the snake. We pray comes with the tiger also. Priest prays with the butter and throws the butter, not a bomb, just butter. Then there are many places you can see stones as like a tiger. So tiger becomes turns into the stone because priest prayer. These are all continuous stories, but I believe it. You may not be believing. Near Tirchikadi, just before Shanmugam sir was talking, and that village, one stone is moving. We believe it is a temple stone. Temple stone is moving from place to place. That is the God's power, we believe. If someone stolen the stone, that's why the stone is moving. Then when we prayed, that stone power came back to the temple. In 19th century also, I see the stone's power. So I believe the strong power of the nature, water, fire, and all 5 elements. Not only myself, our elders people believe the strong power of the nature. They control with a good thoughts and good these things and all. The education is important, sir, but at the same time, scientific reasons are in our rituals, in our Indian ritual. So if we go back to the scientific reasons, it will be useful. I'm practically talking. I don't have a record. I know, but in this situation, I can't give anything else. Maybe you can. Then excuse me. I just took a note. I don't know how far you understood my talk, sir.
Very well understood, madam. Very well understood.
And I will know, because and regarding the music, Yeah, music is now like I worked with Nava people in a Nilgiri tribal people, all Nilgiri tribal people, and Vanvasi Seva Kandram also. And it was the Forest Right Act committee meeting. Then we are very proud of getting the Forest Right Act in 2006. This Forest Right Act is not really reaching to our people because each tribal has a different situation, and many of us don't know how to approach the officials and get the Forest Right Act properly to the people. Because Forest Act we must uh, we, uh, we must utilize it. Otherwise, nowadays, if there is no record, we can't talk, because we are writing and talking and telling the people some media, that is the evidence. Among the tribal people, there is no evidence for some of our lands, and people didn't bother because they thought it's God gave us this land, we are living happily, freedomly, it is our land, nobody can take like that. They had overconfident. Now it's a time, because they made a computerized all the documents and all, it is very difficult to prove this is our place. And officers are going according to their duties, and they do the government duties only. But they should take extra care to study about the tribal people's problems. Then only the development program will be fulfilled, I think so, sir. That is uh, Forest Right Act thing. Then when we talking about the music, each tribal music, people are nowadays, there's recreation. Recreation is music, dancing. To make a healthy community, healthy feelings, it is must. Music and dance and singing and all is best. So we should, to learn properly, uh, this I thought of forming the all Nilgiri tribal inter-tribal music association. It will be useful to recall their lifestyle through our musics and stories and all those things. We can recall their lifestyle and protect the original form of tribal culture. This is my one thing I am thinking practically. Uh, Songs are very old songs are there, and that tells us which place is there, how the people lived, how to live in future. And just to, even though we join the mainstream, our tribal culture is important to live a happy life and a healthy life. That's what I think, sir. Any question, please, sir? I don't know.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam, for your very nice speech. And Uddasya, madam, good morning. Huh? Am I right, madam?
Oh, Tisha.
Yeah, thank you. So we
Talk.
learned that we learned that the importance for protecting our land, and agriculturists, we are also emphasizing the need to protect our own traditional farming and also native land without much loss. Protect the soil. Lot of movements are also going on. You may be knowing. And second thing, importance to protect your language. That is, there is no script you are telling, and the oral stories need to be documented for future generations. And also you were talking about that word means God, because the Toda, now I understand that you are the goddess people. And the importance of music, that music music is telling the stories in a very acceptable way. That is the traditional information available at these tribal communities. That is also an information to us. So buffaloes are very close to heart. We understand to the Toda community. We too also, because in future, these buffaloes are going to become the dot animal in many of the agricultural activities. Now the things are getting reviving back for plowing and all. If you use the buffalo, there is a possibility of adding 10 to 15 kg of the microbial inoculum to the plowed field, which favors for the soil biota to work with. That is the, as an organic agronomist, I understand. So you are telling a lot of information about the culture, tradition, and the way of living. And we are very proud that you have given everything in a very nice way. And in like a story. The flow was very good, and today we are blessed to hear all these things. And thank you very much, madam. Now I request the two.
Sorry for it.
Yeah, thank you. The two prominent speakers to respond to the queries from our PIs. Now it is open for discussion. Please, any PI sir,
Is it okay?
tell.
Sir, regarding education, sir,
Okay.
what I think, because we need culture as well as education. In Nilgiri Tribal Research Center is there. That nearby that Ekalaya Vidyalaya school is there. For all Nilgiri tribes, there is a school. My future thinking is somehow they have to improve that school. It has given English medium, Hindi medium, and tribal culture also to be introduced in that school. There's only opportunity for that school. Through that school, we improve our students, because most of our tribes are not wealthy. They are happy with what they have in their hand, because we can't sell our lands, we can't do big businesses, we are not able to educate our children in the high level. I also educated through the Nava only, Nilgiri Adivasi. So with the support of something only we will be able to educate children. So somehow to earn more money, to become more business people and become a good agriculturist, farmer, like that, it will take a lot of time. So using this situation, Ekalaya Vidyalaya school is up to 12th standard. Somehow some government should support and make that school as a perfect, one of the best school for our tribal people. This is my last request, sir. Thank you. I interrupted.
Definitely, madam. But definitely, madam, we will try to take this message to the appropriate forum when we have the opportunity to express these things. And there are some questions in the chat box. And to the question to Dr. Shanmugam sir. Sir, can you please tell us the tribal settlement or tribal people available in Coimbatore? Anybody settled in Coimbatore?
What's that? Please repeat, pardon me.
Sir, any tribal people are available in Coimbatore after education?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, see, Coimbatore district itself, the main tribal people are Kada and Irulas. They spread over entire Coimbatore district. From Anamalai to here in our Ishavaga center nearby, there are plenty of villages, and near Karamadai also, there are plenty of tribal villages where we are doing our services.
Sir, and another one participant, I think Kalpana madam told that madam has explained, possibly madam has clearly explained the complete things that the appreciation she has given. And madam, as you well said, women are the pioneers in agriculture. When man was running for hunting and gathering, women by their intrinsic insight, they started putting the seeds of the fruits into the soil, and that is, they are the pioneers in farming. Probably that would be the tribal woman, I hope, madam, because you are telling a lot of stories, no? So they only started the agriculture. We are proud of it. And so nowadays, women only started domesticating the animals, probably the tribal community. And the last domesticated animal is men, I feel so, because they gave the culture, they are by their smartness and knowledge, and also their involvement, dedication, the families are being run, and the Indian culture is being taken care of. So any other question, please?
One question is from Dr. Shanmugam sir. Sir,
Yes.
the constitutional right which is provided by constitution to the tribal community,
Yes.
why maximum people are not getting to these benefits? How we can provide this benefit to all the citizens of this community?
Yes, because that already told in my speech. See, nowadays, if this subject, if I talk, it will take lengthy time. You might say, there are, in example, in Tamil Nadu, as per census, there are 8 lakh tribal people in the Government of India census as on 2011. You will astonish if I say original tribes are around just 5 to 6 lakhs. More than 2 lakh people who are not real tribes, they have obtained scheduled tribe certificate for namesake and they are following their own culture and they were nowhere connected to scheduled tribe and usurping all the developmental financial support from government. They are taking away because they are already advanced community. They know technical know how to grab the benefit from government. They are really grabbing. If, for example, if we take last MBBS admission, there were plenty of non-tribals who have entered as a tribes into MBBS seat, in engineering seat, everywhere. For this, in this connection, I have sent several representations to Government of India, Government of Tamil Nadu, National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. According to it is pain to say no action is taken so far. Really, I am pain. Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. We also understand your feelings, sir. And there is another question. What would be the percentage of tribals with formal education in Tamil Nadu, sir? Any one of you can answer.
See, formal education, still I can say the education started in Tamil Nadu after the great leader Kamarajar, who came to power as a chief minister. He has opened the education to all. According to me, wherever you see in Tamil Nadu, all the village schools, government schools were opened during his period only. He only done all good things to Tamil people. Till that time, the education was little back. I can agree. Say, for example, I say, my elder brother, who was studying in Kotagiri up to 8th standard in 1940s. In Kotagiri that time, the school was available only up to 8th standard. After there was no school at Kotagiri, so that my father took him to Kunur, which is 22 kilometers away from Kotagiri. He admitted in this Chinese school, where at that time there was no hostel facility, and because my father made an arrangement for paying guests in a house, and he studied. He completed SSLC in that. I can proudly say he is the first SSLC pass candidate from our entire Tamil Nadu tribal community. That was the situation. Nowadays, the situation is improved. Government is having all GTR schools and all over Tamil Nadu, and Acra school also running in Ooty, and all infrastructures has been created so that now the illiteracy has come down. This we have to accept it. Those before 1950, illiteracy was more. Now it is reduced.
Okay, sir, fine. Sir, again, Madam Kalpana was endorsing your views that non-tribal community, because tribal being such a unique community or knitted community, cannot they stop non-tribal people getting ST certificates? That's well explained by you, sir. You are also in the same feeling. Same feeling.
Sorry to interrupt you. I have prepared 80-page memorandum in this connection. Non-tribal. This was submitted, but so far nothing is happening.
Any other question, please? From any of the audience, PIs and the learned community, you want to ask? This is a great occasion, opportunity to get something clarified. And
Sir, one question from Sanmugam sir.
Yes.
One of the most vulnerable section is society's PBTGs, particularly tribal group.
Vulnerable tribal group.
Yes, we are not able to increase their population. How we should focus on that so that their population can be increased?
See, it is a valuable question according to me, because They are restricting the particular vulnerable tribal groups are limited. The population is very limited. They won't go for intercaste marriage. Yes, scientifically.
Correct.
They continue to marry within them. But other communities, they are going for intercaste marriage so that the population increases. That is the main cause. Have I cleared your doubt?
Sir.
Huh? Are you not happy with my answer?
Sir, it is not clear. So you are talking about that we should promote intercaste marriage, or
No, we are against that. We are against intercaste marriage and conversion. We have to follow our own culture, tribal culture, and as long as you are continuing your tribal culture only, you can identify yourself. Can we change
Yes.
our father and mother? We cannot change.
yes,
Like that,
yes.
we have to follow our culture itself. We are the natural worshippers. Even in our temples, there is no deity. Natural worshippers only. You cannot find any deity in our temples. Not only from our community, even Toda community also there is not a deity in the temples. I think our sister Vasamari will agree that.
Yes. Got it, sir. Got it.
Thank you very much for all interactions and questions. Dr. Pandey Saab, can I conclude now or?
Sir, please.
Yeah, it's in time. We have completed. We are completing the program in time, and as a concluding remark, today is a very great day. We could be able to hear the natural people, nature-loving people, and the people interested to preserve the natural ecosystem. Even though there are a lot of distortions and damages caused by everyone, and in fact, everyone is damaging the nature or posing problems to the nature, and finally they are expecting that at the end of, after the last breath, we need to attain the lotus foot of nature. How we are justified? So we need to preserve the ecosystem. That is well done by the valuable tribal community. We come to learn, and thanks for the opportunity to the IIT people, starting from Dr. Vijay sir and Dr. Pandey Saab, that we could be able to hear from these eminent speakers that this traditional system is very unique and need to be preserved. So we will sensitize our all PAs of the UBI, and at this occasion, today, I promise that we will work together with these eminent personalities belonging to different organizations, that is Toda Seva, Sanmarg Sangam, and also this Vanavasi, right? So we will try to support from in all possibilities. So we will sensitize our UBI partners also to work in the work with the tribal community for their upliftment and also knowledge sharing. We will sensitize them to get more income from all walks of their life, and we will try to promote the tribal products by creating facilities and sensitizing the common public to get the tribal products, because they are more having more therapeutic value and purely natural. So they don't have any contamination like heavy metals or pesticide residues or mycotoxins, something that, because they are living in the environment where Panchabhutas are working very purely, as Madam Vasamali Madam was telling. So I understand. So we will promote tribal products and their embroidery works. So we will give weightage, and we will try to treat them as the forerunners in all developments and preserving culture, tradition, everything. We will follow their unique style of living, so that the heritage, Indian heritage, will be taken care of to the next generations also. So the tribal community, the modes of development is a learning lesson to everyone, and we need to protect their indigenous culture by not disturbing by our external activities like creating resorts or disturbing their ecosystem, giving they are not much interested on these freebies and all. So they want to make them very happy and undisturbed many of the times. Like in hotel, we put a tag, we don't want to get disturbed. Like that, that community is also self-sustaining and they have their own way of living. So it is our integral thing we should take care that not to disturb them, minimum disturbance, and we try to provide the knowledge which is required for their upliftment. That alone we need to do and try to get as much as possible from them so that our health, and also because we are earning more to spend for our health. So that can be minimized if we spare more time with the tribal communities and visit them and then interact with them and identifying their needs, and then we will try to support them very usefully and purposefully with their good concern and also involvement. So that is what I want to emphasize at this in this program. So thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to the National Coordinating Unit to give this assignment to moderate the session, and all the chats and latest chat. We from Government College of Technology place our gratitude to the organizers and speakers for such a wonderful session. So again, a compliment to the National Coordinating Unit. That's what I understand from the chat box. So everybody started complimenting. So it's a nice program. We will continue to get your guidelines, madam and sir, and we will, if any possibility to support through our UBA mode, we are ready to help as a regional coordinating unit and coordinating with the Nilgiri district. We are ready to launch many of the flagship programs for the betterment of the tribal community. So once again, and thank all the participants, starting from NCI, the very reputed organizers of UBA and guiding force for us, and also all the regional participants. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity. Let us say bye to this program and Jai Hind. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
पांडे जी, बहुत आप तो कुछ भी बात किया नहीं।
Sir, thank you. We
हाँ?
express our sincere gratitude.
मैंने एक्सपेक्ट किया था आप कुछ बोलेंगे।
सर आज आपकी बारी थी और आपने जो मैसेज दिया है वो हम लोग के लिए बिल्कुल आई ओपनिंग की तरह है सर, और हम लोग इससे अपने काम में कितने अच्छे से इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं उस पर ध्यान करेंगे सर।
ओके, धन्यवाद। ओके,
थैंक यू सो मच।
हैव ए नाइस डे। थैंक यू नाला।
थैंक यू वासम अली मैम। वी फील प्राउड टू हियर यू। थैंक यू मैम। Thank you, team RCI, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore, and your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, namaste.